Friends, I welcome you to my channel. Before listening to this story, I will ask you to like and subscribe. It is not difficult for you, but it is pleasant for me. And we're starting. I sat at the big wooden desk in my home office with grim determination. After reviewing my checklist for the 10th time and making sure that my plans were properly prepared, I leaned back in my chair, closed my eyes, and remembered the last 2 weeks. Our first email exchange took place 12 days ago, when I was on my way to Memphis on business. My email was sent to a beautiful woman with the nickname Ashley. I was attracted to Ashley's profile. The headline of her profile read, "Sweet and Married Wants to Explore." I am a 48-year-old married woman. I have spent more than half of my life being a loving wife and mother, dedicating myself to my family, friends, and community. I am incredibly reserved and will only date people who will play by my rules. If you're interested, take a chance and introduce yourself. With great interest, I wrote, "Hello, my name is Mike. I am 39, married, and want to stay married, well-educated, and have a professional career. I work as a senior project manager in the computer hardware industry, and am currently overseeing a project near you. I travel to Hartford every week and will continue this schedule until the project is completed in 18 months. Physically, I am 6 feet 1 inch, 190 pounds, with a fit and athletic build. I have short black hair and dark eyes. I am told that I am a handsome man. I'm not looking for love. I get it at home. Like you, I am 100% restrained. I can meet in public, in a place far from your hometown. This will allow us to have the privacy you need, and we can get to know each other in a safe environment. Further, assuming that we decide that we are right for each other and want to start a close friendship, I will stay at the hotel when I am in town and invite you to my room. I would love the opportunity to get to know you by email and look forward to meeting you." After sending the email, I checked several other profiles, but I didn't find anyone more interesting than Ashley. After a short visit to the almost empty hotel bar, I went to bed and fell fast asleep. The next day was busy. My clients in Memphis had several technical meetings scheduled, and I was on the run until early evening. I invited 2 clients to have dinner at an upscale seafood restaurant. We were able to put a busy day behind us and enjoyed dinner. I picked up a bourbon on the rocks as I walked through the hotel lobby and took a drink to my room. After changing into gym shorts and a t-shirt, I booted up my computer. The reply from Ashley was sent via the website to my email. The letter read, "Hi Mike, thank you for introducing yourself. Your letter was much more informative than most of the ones I received. To be honest, most of them write, 'Do you want to make love?' or something similar. Yours was refreshing. Thank you. More about me. I have been married to the same man for over 20 years. My husband works as an executive director in the construction industry. He's traveling on business, and while he's away, and only when he's traveling, I'm dating. I am a successful real estate agent. As usual in my industry, I have a chaotic schedule. With proper communication and planning, I can make dates during the day or in the early evening. I've been on this site for over a year now and joined it when my youngest child left for college. I admit that the combination of the house being empty, a husband who travels a lot, and a close divorced girlfriend who brags about her many exploits has given me a penchant for having affairs. I am attracted to you for several reasons. I only date married men. I adhere to the political term, mutually assured destruction. I am also glad that you are from another city and have a hotel room. 3 of my past friends were local. I was constantly worried that I would run into them when I was walking with my husband. In fact, I saw one of my boyfriends after we broke up at our local airport when I was going on vacation with my hubby. Fortunately, he didn't notice me. I am also thrilled that you are 10 years younger than me. I've never been with a man 10 years younger than me. I have received thousands of emails on the site in a year. I've heard that women get a lot more than men. I've had online relationships with more than 25 men, and I met 8 in real life over coffee. I've only had 6 affairs if you count 3 for one night. The other 3 relationships lasted for several months, and they were all exciting in different ways. I have a few questions for you. Do you currently have any other women, besides your wife? What do you dislike about online communication with women? Is this your first novel? What are you looking for in a partner? I want you to understand that we will need to get to know each other by mail. I won't jump into bed in a few days. I can also promise you that I am worth the effort. I will look forward to further communication." I didn't want to seem intrusive, so after reading Ashley's letter, I turned off my computer and headed to the hotel gym. I ran on the treadmill for 30 minutes, lifted dumbbells, and pulled myself up after that, before returning to my room and going to bed. The next morning at 6 o'clock, I arrived at the Memphis airport and flew home. I stopped by the office for a couple of hours to deal with urgent matters. As planned, I met my wife Bonnie at a local bistro with my longtime friend Kelly and her boyfriend. The dinner and drinks were great. The society was barely tolerable. I didn't like Kelly. She was a slut who hated men. When we left the restaurant parking lot, Bonnie knelt in the front seat, leaned over the console. "Watch the road, sweetheart," Bonnie instructed. The ride home took a little over 30 minutes, and Bonnie was slowly shaking her head in my lap the whole time. I drove into the garage and closed the door, and laid Bonnie with her back on the hood of the car. On Saturday, I woke up early and went to my home office with a pot of coffee to finish all the paperwork related to the end of the week. I knew Bonnie would be in bed for the next few hours, so I felt safe opening my mail and replying to Ashley. "Good morning, Ashley. I apologize for the delay in responding. Yesterday morning I flew home, spent the afternoon at the office, and in the evening I had a date with my wife. Since we are both very careful, can we agree that we will not be upset if the answers are delayed? I hope so. To answer your questions, I am currently not connected to anyone. Over the past 3 months, I have supervised 6 small projects. I didn't spend much time in any city, and as a result, I wasn't looking for a friend with privileges. Our group has fully completed 4 projects, and I was assigned the newest one in Hartford. The Hartford project is very extensive and requires constant on-site supervision. I will visit you often. In the evenings, I will have the opportunity to receive a guest at the hotel regularly. I started dating 7 years ago, and I've had a total of 16 affairs. 5 of them were one day, 8 lasted for several months, and 3 imperceptibly lasted for a year or more. What do I like the least? Liars. I've got into the habit of being outspoken and honest. If I don't want to answer the question, I'll let you know. I won't lie. But alas, they all disappeared after the first date. Ashley, you may be saying to yourself, if so many women have disappeared after the first date, maybe he's just a bad partner. This is a reasonable conclusion. Anyway, this is my biggest annoyance regarding online dating. I hate liars. What do I like the most? It's very simple. I like the variety that new, uninhibited women offer. Your last question was, what am I looking for? I am looking for a woman who is interested in a permanent and hopefully long-term romance. She will be attractive and proportionally built. She will be able to meet a couple of times a month. She will be a lady in public and a cheater behind closed doors. I like women who are talkative and will use charged words in private. Ideally, she is married. She's the kind of person who takes responsibility, but wants a man to take control of her. I hope you will like my answers. In your last letter, you mentioned that your long-term relationship was exciting in different ways. How exactly were they exciting? Have a nice weekend, and I'm looking forward to sharing more next week. My weekend flew by unnoticed. On Saturday, I worked in the yard for a few hours, and on Saturday evening, Bonnie and I went to a barbecue next door. When we got home, we undressed each other and got into bed. On Sunday after church, Bonnie and I went to the country club. We worked out in the gym together before taking a shower and having breakfast in the members' dining room. That day, Bonnie was cleaning the house, and I went to the grocery store and stocked up on groceries for a week. Late Sunday night after Bonnie went to bed, I closed my office door and checked my mail. Ashley replied the same day. She wrote, "Mike, I totally agree. I'll always answer as soon as I can, but if circumstances get in the way, you may have to wait a day or two. I also promise that I will not disappear. If I decide that you're not right for me, I'll be honest and tell you. I promise. I also agree that dynamists and liars are the worst part of online dating. Like you, every one of my one-night stands has been with men who were devastated when we finished. Everyone promised that our date would be the first of many, and then disappeared. This is very discouraging. Thank you for the detailed answers to my questions. At this point, I wasn't disappointed with what you shared. I'm also impressed that you didn't ask for a photo or ask how I look. In your last letter, you wrote that you were looking for an attractive woman. I'm attractive. I am 5 feet 5 inches tall and weigh 138 pounds. My stylish, shoulder-length hair is red and my eyes are brown. I work out almost daily, and I have a toned, flat stomach, great legs, and an ass that makes men in the gym drool. I have already written that each of my 3 long-term affairs was exciting in different ways. One person was very strong and took what he wanted within my capabilities. It was very exciting for me to be used for his pleasure. Fortunately, he also made sure that I was happy. The second man was black. I get very excited when I think about how erotic it was to watch his dark body merge with my white body. My husband has been away all day and will be home soon, so I'm going to make arrangements with you. I'm sending you an anonymous faceless photo so you can see my hot old lady body. I hope you like it." The photo was very beautiful and showed Ashley from the neck down. She was wearing a wet white t-shirt, similar to the one girls wear at wet t-shirt competitions on spring break. The shirt ended just above his flat stomach. She looked amazing. As usual, Monday morning was busy with updates and planning meetings. I needed to finish everything by the end of the day. I was leaving town the next morning. After lunch, I closed the door of my office and answered Ashley. "Wow, you are a very attractive woman. It's hot, it's damn hot. I'm flying to Hartford tomorrow, and I should be happy knowing that you're close and continuing to correspond. That will be enough for today." In my first letter, I gave my general description. I am also happy to announce that I exercise daily. I run 20 miles a week and lift weights every other day. I'm in good shape, and I have some clarity in my arms, shoulders, and chest. Like your last boyfriend, I'm well hung and an inch longer than average. I'm sorry that this letter is so short. Work is stressful today, and I need to get to the next meeting. I've attached some photos. The 4 photos were very provocative. The first one was from the neck down, emphasizing the body toned in the gym in sweat-soaked shorts and a t-shirt. The next picture showed about the same pose, but naked with an erection. Due to my travel schedule and problems with the final completion of the project, my day was filled. I worked late the next 2 days. I didn't open my mail in those days. When I did, I found 2 emails from Ashley. She texted me on Monday evening. "Your letters make me drip. Just like your photos with this black woman, I have saved 1 trophy photo of each of my novels. They're anonymous, but I think they're so damn hot." 6 photographs were attached to the letter. In each of them, Ashley was on all fours, and another man was sitting behind her. On Wednesday morning, Ashley texted again. "My mind is clouded with lust, as I've been waiting for your next letter. I'm going crazy knowing that you're in the Hartford area. Yesterday, my company signed contracts for 3 new listings. I visited each of them to get acquainted with the houses. Walking through each house, I imagined that you were a potential client. Tell me, what do you hope our first date will be like? I took 3 very dirty pictures for you. The photos were amazing. My guess is that Ashley mounted her phone camera on the dresser in the bedroom and pointed it at the bed. Using the built-in timer, she was able to climb onto the bed. In the first picture, her ass was turned towards the camera. I was going to meet with 3 colleagues at the hotel bar to have a late drink. Before I left, I took a picture of my computer screen with the 3rd photo of Ashley on the screen. After a quick drink with my team, I returned to my room. I texted Ashley. I'm staying at the Marriott Hotel next to the convention center in downtown Hartford. The hotel is quite new. It has 2 good restaurants and 2 bars. Parking is great. There are only guests in the lobby after 6 in the evening. The Marriott Hotel is not a hangout for locals, so it would be unusual if my partner ran into someone she knew. As a real estate agent, you can tell anyone that you're meeting with a client. However, if we decide to have an affair, I will stay at any hotel where it is convenient for you. I can stay anywhere. Ashley, our emails have become very explicit. I'm glad you're excited, and I hope you're starting to think about meeting. You asked about our first date. Let me tell you about it. Our first date will take place during the working day at a local cafe. You will be professionally dressed for me with a button-down blouse. You're going to wear a skirt and heels. While we're sitting together, we'll get to know each other better. In 30 minutes, we will find out how truthful our letters were. We will also find out if there is a personal attraction. If our meeting and communication goes as we both hope, we will arrange to meet in my room later that evening. I'll walk you from the cafe to the car, and we'll shake hands. I want you to sit in the car with the door open. If your husband is leaving next week, let's make an appointment. When will he leave? You are such a handsome and exciting man. I can't wait for your next letter. It was only 11 o'clock at night. I decided to leave the computer on. I was expecting Ashley to write again tonight. I walked around the hotel bar. Apart from a few lonely businessmen, there was no one here. I ordered bourbon in the room. By the time I got back, Ashley had replied with a short note. Hubby is leaving on Monday. I'm so nervous, but I want to meet so badly. Can we meet on Monday at 9 in the morning? Let's meet at the Starbucks in Wethersfield. It's on Silas Dean Highway near Marshall's house. I'll get dressed as you ordered. It's going to be a great performance, I promise. I can't wait for Monday night. I want to be your married cheater. I'll let you use my body. Wow, you're driving me crazy. I flew home on Friday, and we had a normal weekend. On Friday, we had dinner at a restaurant, and when we returned home, we made love. On Saturday, Bonnie and I joined another couple for a round of golf, followed by drinks and dinner. Sunday afternoon was beautiful. I grabbed a book and read for a couple of hours. It was a peaceful day, today. It was 8:10 a.m. on Monday morning when I heard Bonnie close the bathroom door. The noise distracted me from thinking about the previous 2 weeks. I got up from the table and went into the kitchen. After filling a mug of coffee, I sat down at the kitchen table. I heard the click of Bonnie's heels as she descended the carpeted stairs and walked down the tiled hallway toward the kitchen. Bonnie was in her morning stupor before coffee and went straight to the coffee pot. I calmly watched as she poured a cup and stirred a teaspoon of sugar. She took a satisfied sip, turned around, saw me, and squealed. "Chris," she screamed, "you scared the hell out of me. I thought you went to the airport." I took a slow, deep sip from my mug before answering. "The trip has been canceled. Bonnie and I have been married for 23 years, and during that time I have learned to read her like a book." She tried to look cool, calm, and collected, but she was actually panicking. She casually walked over to the bookshelf at the end of the kitchen table. Every night for the past 15 years, Bonnie has been charging her laptop and phone and putting them on the bookshelf before going to bed. When she noticed that the place was empty, she asked, "Chris, what did you do with my phone and laptop?" Instead of answering, I took another sip of coffee and asked, "Why aren't you wearing panties and a bra?" "What? What the hell are you talking about?" "I'm talking about the fact that you're not wearing underwear. Why are you naked under your blouse and skirt?" Bonnie's face started to turn red as she answered, "Don't be a pervert. I'm wearing underwear." She began to slowly retreat from the kitchen. Before she took 2 steps, I asked, "Why are you lying to me? How dare you accuse me of lying? What's gotten into you?" It didn't bother me. "I've also seen you wear a skirt 100 times. When she didn't answer, I said, "Just pull up your skirt and prove me wrong." Our staring contest continued, and I got up from the table and headed in her direction. "Stop!" Bonnie screamed. "Bonnie," I interrupted, "one of us will pull up your skirt." "You can do it right now or I'll do it. You have 2 seconds. "Good. I admit it, I'm not wearing any underwear. It's just like you said. I wanted to have a naughty secret. What's wrong with that?" Bonnie smiled. After a few moments, I finished. "But that doesn't explain why you lied to me. I wonder how often you lie." "I'm not lying to you, Chris. You took me by surprise and I was embarrassed." Bonnie thought the conversation was over, so she pointed to the bookshelf and asked again, "What did you do with my phone and laptop? I'd like to know where you're going so early in the morning." "Where the hell do you think I'm going?" "I'm going to the office." She seemed to be on her guard. Returning to my seat, I took a sip of the rapidly cooling coffee and, looking into her eyes, said, "You're lying again." Bonnie reacted as if she had been punched in the face. Growling like a mother bear, she said, "How? You dare? You. That's twice already. You lied to me twice in 5 minutes. I wonder again if lying to me is commonplace." "Where the hell is my laptop and phone? I want to get away from you before I say something I'll regret later." When I didn't answer, Bonnie screamed, "Where are my devices? I want them now. They're locked in my safe." I pointed to the front door and told her, "Feel free to leave, but the electronics will stay here." I think the best word to describe Bonnie's expression was surprise. It was as if she had been transported to a new world where nothing made sense. She visibly calmed down. She came over to the kitchen table and sat down across from me. Taking a deep breath, she asked, "Darling, could you explain to me how, after we kissed in the evening and said, 'I love you,' before going to bed, are we having this shitty show in the morning?" After thinking for a few seconds, I nodded slowly and said, "I lied." "Did you lie? Fine. What did you lie about, dear?" Looking into Bonnie's eyes, I told her, "I lied that I love you." I was surprised that Bonnie was able to control her emotions. It took a few moments before she asked, "Don't you love me anymore?" I confessed, "I'm not sure that 2 decades of love can ever be completely destroyed, but it's close. Honey, I'm too confused to make sense of this conversation. You have to explain everything to me so that I understand. I'd be happy to do that if you do me a favor." "I'll do anything, my love. You know that," Bonnie replied. "Until the end of this discussion, I do not want you to call me dear, darling, beloved, or any other affectionate word. Actually, I don't want you to call me Chris." Bonnie actually chuckled. She said, "It's all right. What should I call you?" I pretended to think about her question. After a moment, I said, "Call me Mike." I was watching Bonnie closely. She must have been more confused than I thought because my obvious clue flew past her. I continued, "I'm not going to call you Bonnie." Again, I pretended to think, watching a strange, condescending smile spread across Bonnie's face. "Instead of that, I think I'll name you Ashley." Her smile disappeared almost immediately. I continued, "Ashley and Mike. Mike and Ashley. It sounds like two lying, cheating married jerks, don't you agree?" Bonnie's face turned ghostly white, and a second later she vomited morning coffee and leftovers from last night's dinner on the table and on her lap. "Covering yourself in vomit seems appropriate for a shitty cheater. I suggest you take a shower. I'll be in my office if you want to continue this conversation." "Chris," there was a plea in Bonnie's eyes, "go take a shower and change your cheating clothes. You smell like a tramp." It was almost 90 minutes before Bonnie returned. She was wearing jeans, a shirt, and sneakers. She walked into my office and plopped down in the chair opposite my desk. She looked even worse after the shower. However, she smelled much better. "Chris, you have to believe me. It was just making love on the internet. I swear it. It was just stupid online nonsense." "You're lying." "No, don't say that. Since the day we got married, I've never touched anyone but you." "I saw it. I've seen the photos, all 6 of them, 6 different cocks, various shapes and sizes, different colors, 6 men's hands on the same world-class ass. A world-class ass with exactly the same big bean-shaped birthmark. It was you, Bonnie. Stop lying. Just stop the damn lies." Bonnie doubled over and shook, crying in her palm. I let her cry until she stopped. She was about to say something, but I raised both hands to stop her. "Now it's my turn to talk." I opened a drawer, pulled out a small stack of papers, and handed it across Bonnie's desk. "What is it?" she asked. "This is my divorce application." Bonnie screamed, "I don't want a divorce. Bill Murphy will apply today. If you don't go into his office and officially sign a copy of the petition, you will be served by the end of the week." "What don't you understand?" "I don't want a divorce." "I took all the money from our vacation fund," I told Bonnie. "I used this money as a down payment for an apartment in the center of West Hartford. It has 2 bedrooms, so the girls can visit me during the college holidays." "How are you going to explain to the girls that you are destroying our happy family?" "It's easy, Bonnie. I'm going to tell them that their mother has been a lying, cheating fool with at least 6 men in the last 2 years. You have to understand," Bonnie pleaded. "The children have grown up and live on their own. You're always on the road. I was bored. I needed some excitement. It didn't mean anything." "Let me try to understand. So it's the kids' fault and my fault that you became an online cheater." "I didn't say that," she shouted. "Please stop calling me those horrible names." I laughed at the last comment and reminded Bonnie, "You texted Mike that you wanted to be a cheater. Those are your words, Bonnie. You said it." Bonnie asked, "How did you know? I was so careful." "You were careful and never let me know that you hated me so much." Bonnie almost jumped out of her chair, but leaned back and cried when I waved her away. "You were careful, but your last friend wasn't. His real name is Paul Kaplan. His wife thought he was cheating. She hired a private investigator who discovered your affair. She sent me a copy of the report. It includes 3 videos of your last dates." Bonnie continued to sob softly. "I want you to know that I was able to identify 4 of the other 5 buddies using saved emails. They are all married. I will give their wives proof of their husband's connection to you, including your name and contact information." After a few moments, I finished. "I will be calling the girls, our parents and siblings soon. I won't go into details, but I will tell everyone that I am divorcing you because of infidelity. I'm not going to be the bad guy in this mess." 5 months later. It was late Friday evening. I just landed at the airport and headed to my new home. Since I didn't have dinner, I stopped at a trendy new restaurant in downtown West Hartford. I was sitting at the bar, my plate was cleared and the bill was paid. I was enjoying the last sips of Merlot when I felt a hand on my shoulder. The woman said, "I wanted to apologize to you, but I didn't know how you'd take it." Recognizing the voice, I turned around and saw Kelly, Bonnie's slutty friend who hates men. "Why do you have to apologize to me?" Kelly sat down next to me, sighed, and told me, "I think my stories may have influenced Bonnie and contributed to her infidelities." "Your stories?" I laughed. "You're probably right, Kelly. But it was Bonnie who created a complicated online life. Our breakup is her fault. I accept your apology, but it's not necessary. She's in a complete mess. I'm worried about her. Many are concerned. I know from the girls and from her father that she goes to a therapist and tries to improve her life. I hope this continues. Chris, I have to ask, is there any hope? Any little hope? That you can cancel the divorce and try again? Bonnie loves you so much. At that moment, I felt a hand on my shoulder again. Someone leaned over and said, "Are you already replacing me?" I turned and smiled at Yana. I kissed her gently on the lips, nodded towards Kelly, and said, "I would like to introduce you to my old friend Kelly McGregor. Kelly, meet Yana Flynn." After the two women shook hands, I stood up, took Yana's hand, and said, "It's time to go." I smiled and said goodnight to Kelly, and Yana said, "There's no hope, Kelly. He's mine. I'm not going to let him go."